guys, it's Unclejona here. Still contemplating whether I am actually Unclejona. Don't know if I count anymore. I have a niece and a nephew, so then I am Unclejona. I'm going to be doing another Beer 52 beer from the southeast. This one is from a brewery that I used to hang around with or used to live reasonably near. Let's clear the sweat off the can. It is Sambrooks beer, or Sambrooks Brewery. There we go, it even says it on the can. And this is called Block Party. It's a handcrafted IPA at 5.5%, which sounds good. It's got a Zaka, Citra, Mosaic and Summit, which I believe, or I'm led to believe, because I've read some notes on this already, that they're all American hops. Wasn't sure about a Zaka. I thought that was a New World hop, as in Australia or New Zealand, but apparently not. That'll focus on there. That's the problem with shiny cans, is they're not as good as the matte ones for photography and that kind of stuff. But anyway, never mind. Yes, Block Party. So it's an IPA, and apparently this is an IPA is a balance between the old school and the new school. So the West Coast and the NEPA, or the East Coast. So it's a balance. Wow, I'm getting a lot of cans that are really full. Can you see that? Right up to the top. Luckily enough, dear viewer, lucky for me anyway, this had been in the fridge for a good week, I think. We're back to the old tulip because this is a small can once again. Oh, I was going quite aggressive on the pour, but then why not? Why not indeed? And that is pouring incredibly clear. Well, it's got a tiny bit hazy at the end, but maybe that's because of the condensation. Right, let's get a picture of this bad boy. Something along those lines. And I have seen, my God, dear viewer, as he puts the can down, that head, man, well over a finger's head. Well, it was. And if you can see, lovely fluffy bubbles there. Lovely, lovely white head. Actually, it has gone a tiny bit cloudy, but again, getting a bit of frost on the can. You can definitely see my ugly mug through there. But yeah, not what they would describe as bright in the in the old school way of doing beer reviews. I was getting like a fruit yogurt kind of thing. Wow, that is really nice. That is, yeah, it's like a yogurt. It's creamy and a little bit sweet on the nose. Maybe from the yeast, I'm thinking that sort of creaminess, perhaps. But then some fruit as well. So it's like a ski or a skir or one of those type yogurts. Oh, that smells really nice. So let me see. Is this going to involve me trying to get this to focus? I think it is, because my eyes aren't so good, dear viewer. Right, let's see. Focus. Hocus pocus. Damn you, why don't you focus? There we go. Right, water, hops, yeast, malted barley, wheat and oats. That, my dear friends, the last two, the wheat and the oats, might be the reason why I'm getting the creaminess. But yeah, my God, there's a lot of hops in here as well. If you haven't done so already, please think about joining the John Army. Click like and subscribe down below. Really does make a difference. Small click for you, big difference for me. Come on. Cheers and beers, guys. Wow, that is very sweet. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it. They did say about it being a crossover beer between old school and new school. Well, the old school, the West Coast styles, are usually pretty bitter, like heavily bitter. This beer isn't at all. This is much more new school. I was going to say new style, but I messed it up. Yeah, this is much more new school. Sweeter. It's got that creaminess there, the wheat and the oats, which the West Coast styles didn't usually have, to be perfectly honest. Although I think some perhaps did. It was more about the crystal malt. Crystal 60s, perhaps even a little bit 90, maybe sometimes. And that's about it. But wheat and oats, not so much. My God, loads of flavours. Let me see if I can dial my taste buds for this second sip, and we'll see if we can get some flavours to describe it to you, dear viewer. Otherwise, these reviews do get a little bit boring. Oh. So we are getting tropical fruits and juiciness there too, but we're getting weird things like sort of melon, like a sweet melon. I'm getting kind of watery melon, but there's also some sort of honeydew type melon in there as well. And tropical fruits, we're talking guava, we're talking papaya, maybe some mango in there. Juiciness might be coming from things perhaps like a pineapple, although there is a bit of bitterness there too. Um, maybe grapefruit. It's not very strong, put it that way. So the juiciness is coming from it, but I'm not getting, well, maybe I am getting a bit of that kind of pithiness, that pithy grapefruit kind of thing that makes everything really bitter. But maybe not, maybe not. Wow, I've also got a couple of tide lines. I'm not surprised because of the wheat and oats, which is adding to the creaminess too. And I always say when you get a juicy, fruity kind of hop, and then mix it with oats and wheat, you get that kind of you get that kind of lovely kind of fruity yogurt lassi kind of thing going on there, which is good. So you get the balance of the wateriness in your mouth, but you also get that kind of creaminess. It's a weird sensation. You get your kind of palate cleansed by the juiciness of the hop flavor, but you get a nice creamy finish with it. It's unique to this kind of beer, but there are so many of them out there. Hopefully, dear viewer, you know what I'm talking about. We're talking about hazy type beers, and there's some wheat and there's some oats in there. You're getting that creaminess in your mouth, but you're having a more kind of juicy hop too. It does weird things to your taste buds, and it's very, very on point. Um, Using a ballet expression there. I like to keep it real. Um, yeah, it is on point for the new style of hazy beers. Maybe that is in itself becoming slightly old now because they've been around for a good 5 years now, at least. Um, and the West Coast is kind of, you don't see too many of those around, but there is an emerging style called the New School West Coast IPA. Work that out. It's gone full circle, or has it? I don't know. Hopefully, IPA is slowly relinquishing its title as the kind of, the god of everything. And I've heard, dear viewer, that a lot of people are turning their back on craft beer because it's taking the fucking piss, because it's really expensive and for no real reason apart from they can get away with charging it. So people that are keeping their costs down and delivering a good, consistent product to the consumer, i.e., they're not taking the fucking piss, they're going to stay around for much longer. And the craft people that are taking the piss, bye. You're not going to stay around for very much longer. So don't let the door hit you on the way out. Hey, it's just my opinion. Cheers and beers. There, my dear viewer, is the third tide line. Look at that. That looks really cool. And if we go around to the back of the glass, we have those kind of, it looks like a kind of, well, I was going to say tiger stripes, but no, it's all congealed and merged together. So maybe more like a leopard or that kind of thing, you know, keeping the analogy of the wild cats there. Now, speaking of breweries that do not suck, I definitely like Sambrooks. We're going to focus on there. There we go. Sambrooks. And this is a really nice beer, I have to say. Really, really good. Liking this. And they are from, I think they're from Batasia, if I remember correctly. And I used to live not far from there in Wandsworth, believe it or not. Or Southfields to be precise, which is where the Wimbledon tennis is. Yeah, believe it or not, the Wimbledon tennis is not really in Wimbledon. Well, it is all Wimbledon, but Wimbledon Park, Southfields, that's kind of more where they play the tennis. Wimbledon is an absolutely lovely, lovely place to live. And like I say, I lived around there. I lived in Roehampton as well, which is just down the road from there. In my old neck of the woods. Anyway, I am waxing lyrical. We've gone over 10 minutes, dear viewer. Block Party, why not try that beer? It is a really nice beer. Sambrooks is a brewery as well. I have got a lot of time for those people. They are doing a really good job. Shamon to you, Sambrooks. And dear viewer, please, please, I'm begging you, why not drink some beer? Because it not only makes you smarter, but it makes the world a better place when you drink some beer. We'll be back with more beer reviews real soon.